Hello and welcome. My name is Angie Holden and I'm the blogger behind the Country Chic Cottage. So today we're going to talk about the We Are Memory Keepers PrintMaker. And this is that machine right here. Yes, it really is that small. So I was super intrigued by this machine, and I do want to let you know this video is not sponsored in no way. It's just my honest opinion and review of the PrintMaker. So I was actually sent this in like a Michaels goodie box from Michaels, and I had been looking at it for a while as a possible review product. Since they sent it, I thought, why not review it? Let's see what all the PrintMaker can do and can't do, and decide if it's worth it for your craft room. So hopefully this video helps you decide that, especially if you've been thinking about purchasing the PrintMaker for any reason. So first, let's open up the box, take a look at the PrintMaker. I also have some of the accessories they sell with the PrintMaker. We'll take a look at those, and we'll even use all of those in this video so you can get an idea of how they work and if you need the accessories as well. And I will link to everything I'm using in the description below. So if you are on computer, click show more. If you're on mobile, there's an arrow to expand the description, or you might have to swipe up depending on how you're watching. So let's take a look at the PrintMaker and the inside of this box. So here is the PrintMaker, and we're going to open up this box. But I do have several of the accessories that go with the PrintMaker that we're going to use, and we're going to see if the accessories make a difference. So we have the PrintMaker itself. I have a couple of alignment guides. One looks like it's for ribbon and washi tape, and the other just says alignment guide, and it's shown with a tag. And then we have some of their printable washi tape, some of their tags, and I'll also use some other tags as well. And then like a carrying case that is an optional accessory. So let's dig into this box and see what's inside. So here is the PrintMaker. You open the box and there's instructions on the inside of the box lid. There's also some instructions within a booklet right on top. Then it looks like we have the PrintMaker itself. So you can see about the size of this machine. So super, super small and compact. There's ink that goes inside the machine. Looks like some sample tags maybe to practice with. Some kind of sponge pad on a plastic piece and a charging cord. And it looks like that's all that is in the box with the PrintMaker itself. So let me go ahead and take a look at the instructions and get everything charged up and ready to go. The first thing you'll need to do is to charge the PrintMaker. It does come with a power cord, however, it's like a USB-N, so you will need a plug to plug that into. And then you just plug the charging port into the side. The light will turn amber to indicate that it's charging. And it'll take about 60 to 90 minutes, and then the light will turn white and we'll be ready to go. So once the PrintMaker is charged completely, the light will turn white, and now we need to install the ink cartridge. So this does take an ink cartridge, so you would have to replace that occasionally. The instruction sheet that comes with the PrintMaker does give instructions for changing the ink cartridge, but you just unlock it from the base and then you can remove the PrintMaker. So the lock on this base bottom locks and unlocks the PrintMaker from the base itself, so you can lock it into place with this feature. Then once the PrintMaker's off the base, you actually just pull it and this whole cover comes off, and this is where your print cartridge goes. On the cartridge itself, you'll want to remove the protective cover or film and discard that. Then on the PrintMaker, there are purple arrows, and you just line up the cartridge with the purple arrows and just push it into place. And you'll hear it snap, and then it's ready for you to add the cover back on to the top and snap that into place. Now, what I thought were labels when I opened the package are actually like little cleaning swabs. And I added one of those to that little sponge deal that was also in the package. And this is what you kind of clean the printhead with. So you'll just want to rub the printhead just a little bit, and you can see the ink got on there. And now this printer is ready to go. So before we dive into the PrintMaker app and using it to create designs, first I want to say that this is not a full tutorial on how to use the app. I'm just going to give you like a brief overview, then I'm going to design some stuff. It's more of like, can this thing do what's advertised, and does it print well? Like, that's mainly what this video is about. However, the app itself is only for iPad, iPhone, and Android phones. They don't have an application for Android tablets as of the filming of this video. And apparently you can design on PC, but you can't actually print to the PrintMaker with PC. So I recommend you have an iPhone, an iPad, or an Android phone. before even purchasing the PrintMaker, so you can use this to its fullest ability. I will also say that for me, the app was super glitchy. So if you're having trouble with the app and you found this video, what I did was like force restart it basically. So I forced it closed and then I restarted the app anytime I was having trouble. And I found that that sort of cleared things out and I was able to use the PrintMaker correctly after doing that. So if you're having trouble with it printing incorrectly, like the display not working, I had problems with that, with it not saving, with it not pulling up designs, all of the above I had problems with, and I just force closed the app every time. So as you can maybe tell, I wasn't too impressed with the app itself and the interface, but I powered through and we made some projects. So let's take a look at the app. Now we do need to follow those instructions and connect our printer to the Bluetooth. I have put the printer back on the base, so you do need to store it on the base when not in use. So I have turned the PrintMaker on, and you do that just by pressing this button on the top for about 3 seconds. And now I'm going to connect a printer via Bluetooth. It found the PrintMaker right away, and I'm just going to click connect. Then I'm just going to pick it from the accessories, and then it says connected to PrintMaker on my screen, and I'm ready to go. There are shapes you can add within the app and design with shapes. I can also add text right within the app. The fonts that are on my iPad are all available within the app. You can also fill your canvas with various colors, and you can import images from your photo library. So I'm just going to design some things and then we'll take a look at printing. I did want to point out one more thing. So my PrintMaker came with a code and I could get access to the store for a year. So you just go to store on your app and enter your code. And now I have access to tons of different designs that I can all use with the PrintMaker to print. So I am going to print some of these for my example pieces. You can upload your own designs, however, and you definitely don't have to pay the fee. If you do pay it, it's like 30 bucks a month. But it looks like they do come with a code for a free year, or at least this one did, and it was on this sheet of paper that was in with the PrintMaker. So let's make a few things with the PrintMaker. First of all, I have a file designed, and I'm going to click print on the app. You can tell it whether you want it to print 1 time, 2 times, or an infinite number of times. So first of all, I'm going to tell it an infinite number of times, and we're going to run it across some paper without any guides. Once you pick an infinite number of times, you click send to printer. When you do that, the PrintMaker will beep and the light will start flashing. You need to wait for it to beep a second time. Once it beeps a second time, the PrintMaker is ready and your design is loaded. Here I've just been running it across a piece of paper to demonstrate the PrintMaker, and I'm going to use a separate piece of paper here for another print. When you get the PrintMaker out, you can see that it shines a light. Where that light starts, so this box where it starts, is where your printing will start on whatever object you're printing on top of. So I'm going to line that up with the edge of this paper, and then I am going to try to align this where it's straight. So I'm making sure the light is straight with the bottom of my paper. Once I have my light lined up and I think it's straight, I can just press the button on top of the PrintMaker, and once that light turns green, the PrintMaker is ready. So then we just move it across the paper at a consistent speed. It prints our design. I went over to the side some onto my work surface, and you can see this even printed on my work surface. You'll want to return the PrintMaker to the base to get it to stop printing. And you can clean up any ink with just like a wet rag while it's still wet before it dries. Now you can take a closer look at that PrintMaker printing, and you might even be able to tell that I didn't get it very straight. So it is very hard to line up when you are printing on the paper freehand without any guides. The print quality on something like paper, however, is pretty good. Next, let's talk about printing on washi tape or ribbon. So this guide helps you to do that, and it comes with different attachments for different sizes. So I'm going to use the 15mm attachment on both sides, and I'm going to print on this washi tape. The washi tape is from We Are Memory Keepers, and it has a backer on it so that I can peel and stick it after I printed it. I will show you a few different ribbon options that I printed on, just so you can get a feel for how those worked. So you just run the washi tape or the ribbon where it goes underneath this guide and then up through the guide on either side. And I'm going to pull it through quite a bit because this end at the very start does get messed up because it has an adhesive on it. Then you just want to stretch your washi tape or ribbon across your work surface. We'll set the PrintMaker onto the guide. Again, wherever the light is, that is where it will start printing. And then I'm going to press the button. Wait for the light to turn green. Then I'm going to hold my washi tape and move the PrintMaker across the washi tape. When I'm ready to stop, I just pick the PrintMaker up and return it back to the base. You can see the printing on this washi tape is pretty good. I am able to get a pretty consistent print on the washi tape, but there are areas that do get messed up, like extra ink goes in some areas occasionally. So I'm not perfect with the machine yet. I think a little practice may be required. Let's talk about different washi tape and ribbon options. The first two are both washi tape, just different widths. So it is kind of difficult, in my opinion, to design for the smaller width. And then this larger width is as wide as you can print with the PrintMaker. You can see the print head here in relation to my finger. So that this is as wide as you can print on anything. So there is definitely width limitations. This is what happens when you hold the PrintMaker like in the same location too long and you just basically waste your ink. So I did this quite a bit in the beginning before I got the hang of the PrintMaker itself and printing on different surfaces. The next three ribbons are Grosgrain ribbons. So they have like ridges within the ribbon itself. To me, like this is the most common type of ribbon. So I was expecting to be able to print on it. Every time I print on this type of ribbon, and you can see I tried 3 different times with 3 different designs, it's always fuzzy and looks like basically out of focus, but it's not. It's just the way it printed. So I definitely was not happy with that. So I moved on to different types of ribbon. The next one I tried was like a silky smooth ribbon. I thought since it was smooth, it would work. However, same problem. This time I had several areas where the ink just basically smeared. So I was definitely not happy with like a smooth satin ribbon either. This next ribbon is like a woven ribbon. It was better, but still looked fuzzy to me or out of focus. This last ribbon definitely printed the best, and it's kind of like a suede feel ribbon. I'm not even sure where I got it. I dug around in my scrap bin until I found this small piece just to test it. It definitely printed the best, but having to buy special ribbon just for the printer kind of defeated the purpose to me, so I was not happy with the ribbon printing. The washi tape printing is definitely awesome, but again, you would have to buy the special washi tape that is white with the backer from We Are Memory Keepers. So I think with ribbon or washi tape, you would need to buy the special products from We Are Memory Keepers to get it to work correctly. So next up, we're gonna give this magnetic guide a try. When I got the magnetic guide, I did not realize you needed a magnetic base to put it on, but you do. I happen to have this one from We Are Memory Keepers from several years ago. It's basically a magnetic sheet that you can use in your Cricut for different things. So I'm using it. They do make one, I think, in a different color specifically for this guide. You can definitely purchase it, or if you had one of these for the foil quill, you can use it as well. So we are going to print, let's just print on a tag. So basically you put your tag down on your metal sheet and then you snap your magnetic guide in place. You can make sure everything is straight. Use the ruler guide to line everything up. Once you have it lined up, your PrintMaker fits right inside the guide. When it's in the guide, you can again see the light and tell where your printing is going to start. So I'm going to line it up with the 1 to start on the 1. And then I'm going to once again press the button, wait for the light to turn green. Once it turns green, I'm just going to move the PrintMaker across my object. So now I just printed on a paper tag. So there you can see the printing, and it is really good print quality. Again, on paper, I was able to get a good print quality all the time. Now, I tried this on a card and several other tags. It worked great every time. However, like on something like this card, that's as large as the design will go. So I just wasn't happy with the size of the design more than the printing itself. One thing that made me want the PrintMaker to begin with was printing on various objects like this canvas bag. Now, the ink is not like completely permanent on fabric, so you would have to put like fabric Mod Podge or something over the top to make it super permanent. But for something like these bags, like for a party, I would not necessarily mind if it was not completely permanent for something like bags for a party. So let's try printing on these, and as you can see, I made an example bag. And if you put the PrintMaker all the way to the left of this guide, the printing will start at 0. So now here's a look at that printing on that canvas bag. And as you can see, it's pretty good. Now, I did have trouble going like all the way across the bag, like with the seams on the side. So I could only do like a design right in the center. And as we discussed before, the designs can't be very large. So it was just kind of like something a little extra to add to the bag, but I didn't have any luck going all the way across. All right, with all of that being said, is the PrintMaker worth it for your craft room? For me, it would be a no. So a few things about the PrintMaker, like let's talk about good and bad, right? So I loved the way it made washi tape. That's the good. The bad would be that you have to buy the special washi tape from We Are Memory Keepers to get it to work. So I feel like that's a negative, at least in my opinion. Now, I was really expecting it to print on ribbon really well, and as you saw from the video, I had tons of trouble finding a ribbon that would work. So if I have to buy a special ribbon to work with it, then I'm not super excited about it. Printing on paper worked great, but I could use tons of other options for printing on paper that wouldn't be so size restrictive. Now, if you use tons of pre-made tags, you're a teacher and you want to like print awesome on your kids' work that they do for you in class, then the PrintMaker might just be for you. It works great on paper. And as you can tell, like I had tons of success with using it on various paper projects, from like cards to tags to just straight on paper. If you have one of those applications where you're going to use it on paper and it's something specific, so you have all these cut tags and you need to print something on them, the PrintMaker might be for you. For me, I think I would have other ways to print things, and I wouldn't necessarily have the PrintMaker in my craft room. Just don't think it would be a necessity. And there's so many limitations with it, with the print size that I did not like. The design app, not where I wanted it to be, that I probably, like knowing what I know now, I wouldn't purchase the PrintMaker and have it in my craft room. I will say that. However, I definitely think there are applications for it, and it's a really cool product. So if you found an application in this video that you worked, that I had success with, and that you think you would love to add to your craft room or your classroom, whatever it is, then by all means, pick up the PrintMaker and use it for that. Hopefully this video gave you enough information that you know what to purchase to go along with the PrintMaker to make your project a success. So I hope this video helped you. If it did, give us a thumbs up. If you have any questions about the PrintMaker that I can answer, feel free to ask those in the comment section below. I am by no means an expert, but I did make several things in the making of this review video, and perhaps I can help you. Or if you have like something I didn't try to print on, by all means ask in the comment section below. I've been trying some things on my Instagram story, and I'll be happy to try some more things if you have some requests. So drop down in the comment section, ask away. If you haven't already, head on over to our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. We have videos like this every single week, and trust me, you don't want to miss any of those. So thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.